Imagine this. You're the Chief Justice of India. You're sitting in the Supreme Court, hearing a boring case about fake law degrees. And in the middle of that hearing, you say 43 words, just 43 words. There are youngsters like cockroaches who don't get any employment and don't have a place in a profession. Some of them become media. Some become RTI activists, and they start attacking everyone. That's it, said in passing, in a courtroom, about fraudsters with fake degrees. Now, imagine that within 72 hours of saying those words, over 1 lakh Indians had signed up to a political party named after that insult. And within 7 days, that party had more Instagram followers than the ruling BJP. This is the story of the Cockroach Janta party, and it is one of the most extraordinary political stories India has seen in years. Let's go back to May 15th, 2026. The Supreme Court of India is hearing a petition about fraudulent law degrees, people allegedly entering the legal profession with fake LLB certificates. Chief Justice Surya Kant, while discussing how some people get blocked from professions and then turn to journalism or social media activism, uses the word cockroaches. Now, to be fair in this matters, the CJ clarified the very next morning that his remarks were aimed specifically at people with fake degrees, not at India's unemployed youth in general. But here's the problem with the internet. The original clip, 43 words, short, vivid, emotionally loaded, had already spread across 3 different corners of Indian Twitter at the same time. Legal Twitter was angry about judicial conduct. Youth Twitter was angry about the insult. Political Twitter was watching to see who would respond first. The clarification, when it came, was long, conditional, and procedural. It read like a press note, and Indian Twitter is not in the business of press notes. By the time the clarification landed, one man sitting in Boston, USA, had already registered a domain, sketched a logo, written a slogan, and put up a sign-up form. His name is Abhijeet Dipke. He is 30 years old. He is from Aurangabad, now called Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, in Maharashtra. He studied journalism in Pune, then moved to the United States to pursue a master's degree in public relations at Boston University. He was there on an educational loan. No family money, no party funding, no corporate backing, just a student, a laptop, and a very bad night's sleep after watching that clip. But before Boston, between 2020 and 2023, Dipke had done something that would prove absolutely crucial. He volunteered with the Aam Aadmi Party's social media team during one of the most digitally aggressive periods in Indian political history. At its peak, AAP ran like an always-on newsroom. Rapid response graphics, hashtag squads, hyper-local meme pages, a relentless rhythm of turning public outrage into a clear ask. Dipke wasn't a senior strategist there. He was, by his own account, a foot soldier. But the muscle memory, that stuck. So when the CJI's clip dropped on May 15th, Dipke didn't panic. He didn't debate. He executed. He watched the clip. He slept on it. And he woke up on May 16th with 3 things: a name, a slogan, and a logo. The name, Cockroach Janta Party. The slogan, Main be Cockroach. I too am a cockroach. The logo, a cockroach, drawn with deliberate dignity. He put up the sign-up form. He pushed a thread on Twitter, and then he sat back, not expecting what happened next. Within 6 hours of the form going live, 10,000 signups. By the end of day 2, 60,000. By the evening of day 3, 1 lakh. 100,000 registered members. Most Indian political parties spend a decade trying to hit a number like that. But why did it spread so fast? 4 reasons. First, the slogan, Main be Cockroach, is short enough to fit in any bio, any name strip, any sticker. Every single user who posted it became a node of distribution. It was user-generated content built into the name itself. Second, one destination, one website, one form, no confusion, no branching. Newcomers didn't have to think about where to go. Third, the press picked it up on day 2 evening. The moment mainstream media touched it, the curve went from steep to vertical. That's the standard ignition pattern in Indian politics. social plus broadcast. Fourth, the politicians arrived on day 3. Trinamool Congress MPs Mahua Moitra and Kirti Azad publicly accepted symbolic USDJP membership cards. And here's the rule of political gravity. Politicians follow numbers, not narratives. No MP was prepared to take a card on day 1. By day 3, 2 did. As Dipke himself said in an interview, "We didn't run any ads. We didn't pay any influencer. It went where it went." By day 7, 15 million Instagram followers. The BJP's official page, 8.8 million. By day 9, 20 million. Now let's talk about the name, because this isn't the first time in history that a movement has taken an insult and printed it on the letterhead. The word Tory came from an Irish word meaning bandit. Today, it has been on British ballots for 300 years. The Quakers were mocked for trembling in worship. They took the name. They became one of the most respected institutions in the world. The word suffragette was coined in 1906 by the Daily Mail as a slur against women fighting for the right to vote. The movement adopted it within weeks. They won the vote. Even the word queer, once used as an insult against LGBTQ people, was reclaimed and is now a term of pride. The cockroach fits perfectly into this pattern, and there's a practical layer to it too. The cockroach has survived 3 mass extinctions. It can go a month without food. It holds its breath for 40 minutes. It withstands radiation that kills humans in days. For a movement made of unemployed graduates, chronically online youth, and people the formal economy has discarded, you could not design a better mascot. But here's where the story stops being just about memes, because the Cockroach Janta Party has a 5-point manifesto, and these 5 demands are not jokes. Demand 1, no Rajya Sabha seat for any retiring Chief Justice of India. The argument is simple and clean. A judge ruling on the government this year should not be appointed by that government next year. This is not anti-judiciary. It is anti-incentive. It removes the bait that compromises judicial independence before a verdict is even written. Demand 2, if any legitimate vote is deleted from the electoral rolls, the Chief Election Commissioner shall be arrested under UAPA, the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. Now here's the brilliant part. UAPA has primarily been used against citizens, journalists, students, activists, protesters. CJP says, turn it upward. Apply it to the official responsible for protecting the most basic political right a citizen has. Stealing someone's vote, CJP argues, is no less than terrorism. Demand 3, women's reservation raised to 50% in Parliament and Cabinet, not the 33% of floor of the existing Nari Shakti law, 50%, without increasing the total number of seats, existing seats redistributed. The discomfort falls on the people currently occupying them. Demand 4, all media houses owned by the Ambani and Adani conglomerates shall have their broadcast licenses canceled, making way for truly independent media. Bank accounts of what the party calls Godi media anchors investigated. Demand 5, any MLA or MP who defects from one party to another shall be barred from contesting elections and from holding any public office for 20 years. CJP points out that so-called Operation Lotus has dissolved an elected state government roughly once a year, every year for the past decade. Make defection cost more than the bribe. Read together, these 5 points form a coherent worldview. A judiciary free from executive temptation. Elections actually protected. Gender representation matched to actual population. Independent media, and politicians held accountable for betraying the voters who elected them. As CJP says, none of these are radical. They are maintenance work, institutional repairs that make the rights already written in the Constitution actually enforceable. Now, you know a movement is being taken seriously when the government starts getting nervous. On day 6, May 21st, the CJP's Twitter account, which had around 90,000 followers, was withheld in India. The Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology issued the order under Section 69A of the IT Act, citing, and this is not a joke, national security concerns, a satirical party with a cockroach logo. National security threat. Dipke's response? He posted, "Cockroach is back. You thought you can get rid of us? LOL. Minutes later, a new account was live. On May 23rd, the website was taken down, allegedly by the government. This happened right after CJP launched an online petition demanding the resignation of Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan over the NEET 2026 paper leak. On May 24th, Dipke reported his Instagram page and personal account were hacked. On May 22nd, death threats arrived from the United States. On May 26th, Dipke moved the Delhi High Court, challenging the blocking of the X account. The more they tried to stamp it out, the more it spread, which is, of course, exactly what cockroaches do. But step back for a moment, because CJP didn't happen in a vacuum. India has the world's largest youth population. More than a quarter of the country is young. And for years, across every party, BJP, Congress, AAP, all of them, not one has spoken to this generation in a language they actually recognize. And this isn't just India. In Argentina, 600,000 youth took to the streets when the president cut university funding. In Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, youth-led uprisings reshaped governments entirely. In Tamil Nadu, Gen Z mobilized behind a new political face and changed the state's electoral arithmetic. Generation Z across the world is fed up. And this is a generation that knows its rights, is educated, is online, and will not stay quiet when those rights are ignored. CJP is a wager on exactly that energy, a bet that an entire generation responds faster to an insult reclaimed than to a manifesto handed down from above. That once you get a lakh people into the tent, you can argue the policy later. And the long game? CJP is not rushing to contest the 2029 general election. The plan is to start at the bottom: panchayat contests, municipal elections, state-level candidacies. Build from the ground up, one cockroach at a time. So what do we make of all of this? A 30-year-old student in Boston on an educational loan watched a 43-word clip from an Indian courtroom. He stayed up that night, and by morning he had started something that neither money nor government orders have managed to stop. Whether CJP becomes a genuine political force or fades into India's long list of viral moments, that question is still open. The movement itself admits it. The real test isn't the first week. It's whether the swarm holds for 100 more days. Whether the memes become votes. Whether the t-shirts become candidates standing in local elections. But for now, the math alone tells you something remarkable happened. 43 words, 72 hours, 1 lakh members, 20 million followers. They called them cockroaches. They said thank you and registered a political party. If you found this interesting, share it with one person who needs to hear it. And subscribe, because this story is far from over.